aking bahay, di po ba? So sabi ko, Panginoon, ang hirap nito. So sabi ko nga ho, panalunin mo muna ako sa loto. So ang ginagawa ko ho, December 16 hanggang 9 days of Christmas masses, lagi po ako nakikinig ng readings. Pag po sinabing Mark chapter 8 verse 5 to 11, sasabihin ko po, okay, 3, 5, 8. Tapos, kukombining ko pa po yun. 8 plus 5, 13 plus 11. In other words, kung ano po yung hearing, nirarumble-rumble ko yun. With my dire hope that I will hit the jackpot. At hindi pa ho yun, talagang meron pang kasamang magbe-blessing muna ako, magdidip muna ako sa holy water, pati yung ballpen na gagamitin ko para baka sakaling matsyempohan. Awa ng Diyos, hindi. So, nung malaki-laki na ang nagagastos ko, kasi di ako manalo sa loto, scratch it naman, di ba? Scratch it. 50 pesos. Sige, tsagan-tsaga ako. Ang pinang-i-scratch ko pa, yung dulo ng rosaryo, baka ako maswerte. Nung hindi talaga ako manalo, sabi ko, Lord, mukhang may iba kang gusto. I told myself, hindi maaaring mangarap ng isang tapat na pamahalaan nang wala kang puhunan. And I said, yes, Lord. I think I am fearful, not because of the many unknowns in my life. I am fearful because there is a strong resistance to follow the will of God. And then I said, now, Lord, I'm ready. So ang sabi ko po sa dasal ko, Panginoon, itulak mo na lang po ako. Sapagkat kung bibigyan mo pa po ako ng 1 o 2 oras, ay hindi na po ako papayag. So, hindi ko naman po alam, ako'y itinulak, ay talagang nakasubsob na, ay hindi man lang ako itinayo, pinabayaan na ako nakasubsob habang buhay. I never realized that. So, nangyari ho, dali-dali ho ako nag-type ng resignation letter, December 21. Saka po ako umuwi sa bahay. At saka ko po sinabi sa aking asawa at anak, I have just resigned. You know, in a traditional Filipino family, the husband is the one that decides. Sa akin po, tinanggalan ko po ng pantalon ng asawa ko. No? Hindi ko po sinabi. Sinabi ko na lang nag-resign na ako. Ang sabi po ng anak ko, Mama, makakapag-aral pa ba ako? Huwag kang mag-ala, anak. Pare naman ang ninong mo, makakapag-aral ka. Sorry, Father, di ba naman, Father, pag nasa Ateneo ang pare, pwede magpaaral. Di ba, Father? Yun lang naman ang ibig ko sabihin, kayo naman. Wala naman ako masamang ibig sabihin. Sabi ko lang, pare ang ninong mo, sigurado ako makakapag-aral ka. O, di ba? Ayoko kasing umiyak, kaya ginujoke ko yung anak ko. The next day, when I went back to office, hindi ho kasi pwedeng mag-resign immediately sa ADB. There is a holding time. From December 21, I have to wait until January 21. I have to, my clearance, no? I think December 22 or something between those dates. Naglabas ho ng article ang ombudsman, something like, hindi daw ho kinonsider yung aking testimony sa Sandigan Bayan simply because ni-ride nila yung letter ng aking chairman. I was not mandated to audit and there was no audit report. Syempre ho, nagalit ho ako, amang walang yang ito. Matapos nyo akong gamitin ng 3 taon, bigla nyo sasabihin sa akin, wala palang kwenta. Nag-aksaya ako ng panahon dyan, di ho ba? At naalala ko nga ho ang aming sumpaan, na kapag na-dismiss ang report, tatakbo kami ng hubot-hubad mula Sandigan Bayan hanggang Welcome Rotonda. Nakita niyo to sa Inquirer, di ba? Headline kaagad, o di ba? Ganyan ang lola mo. Gusto kong pag-usapan, kaya sinabi ko yan. Joke. I think it is a serious commitment. Totoo yun. Sinabi ko talaga sa prosecutor yon. Ito walang anuhan Pag na-dismiss ang kaso, tatakbo tayo ng hubad mula Sandigan Bayan hanggang Welcome Rotonda. And if you follow the hearing, hindi siya dinispute ng prosecutor, right? Because it is true. That is our agreement. Kaya nga ang sabi sa akin ng asawa ko, you must be very lucky. Mahal na mahal ka ng Diyos. Sobrang kahihiyan ang aabutin mo kung na-discuss ang kaso. So ano pong nangyari? Sa galit ko po, tamang-tama, tumawag po yung researcher ni Ses Drilon. Ay, ma'am, trunk line pang ginamit. Pwede ho ba kami mag-interview? Ay, sa sobrang galit ko, ang sabi ko ho, ay gusto mo ngayon na lang eh. Eto kasi yan, ganito, ganon. Ma'am, si Ces po ang mag-i-interview at mamaya pa pong 4:00. Akala ko ngayon na. But you know, if you happen to read the last interview of General Reyes, it is exactly the same feeling that I have. Tatawag ako, wag na, i-cancel na natin. Tatawag na naman, sige, ituloy na natin. And then, you know, after the interview, it was some sort of, the interview was embargoed. Kasi bigla ko siyang tinext. My brothers and sisters are saying, maawa ka naman. Kung hindi mo makayang maawa sa sarili mo, maawa ka sa anak mo. And I was really like, ilalabas ko ba yung interview or hindi? It is something really, really very difficult. So I went home again. I told my son, anak, nagpa-interview na ako. And his response was very disturbing. Mama, gusto mo ba kaming ipapatay na lahat? I said, anak, when you grow old, you will never, you will understand na walang nanay, gaano man kapabaya, ang gustong ipapatay ang sariling anak. It was most difficult because it is coming from my very own and asking if I really want them to get all killed. You know? So mahirap po yun. On the other hand, when I confronted my husband, ang sabi po niya sa akin, nagdadrive kami pa uwi. E di ibangga na lang natin to. Total, wala ka naman palang pakialam kung anong mangyari sa atin. Then let's just drive it and hit whichever is in the road. Total, wala naman pala tayong pakialam. And I was just like, you know, I was trying to be composed. I was trying to be very, very calm. I was praying a lot. I didn't answer back because I don't want a more heated conversation. Alam ko, kasalanan ko eh. Kinabukasan, during the breakfast, I told him, Roy, you know, remember in the 1980s, during the Marcos years? You left your mother and your father. You went up to the mountains. Di ba sabi mo, halos mabaliw ang nanay mo sa paghahanap sa'yo? Now, karma mo ako. Sabi po ng asawa ko, karma ka dyan. Nung ginawa ko yun, binata ako, Heidi. You are married. May 3 kang anak. Why are you doing these things? Are you forgetting about the fact that you have 3 children? And then said, you're only thinking of the 3 kids. What about the more than 75 million Filipinos that need to get the information? Hindi po siya nagsalita. Ang sabi lang po niya sa akin, ang hirap kasi sa'yo, atat na atat ka eh. Hindi ka makali. Gustong-gusto mong pag-usapan. That was a very hurting accusation. But you know, I'm taking it up because gusto kong marinig kung ano yung gusto kong marinig, kung ano yung nasa kalooban ng asawa ko. Gusto mong pag-usapan, andyan na si Marcelo, andyan na si Villa Ignacio, gusto mo pa rin sumali. Ano ba ang gusto mong patunayan? Na magaling ka? Di ba tama na yung ginawa mo? You conducted an audit, you submitted a report, you attended the hearings. Ngayon, nagbitaw ka pa dyan sa trabaho na yan para bumalik na naman dyan. Anong gusto mong gawin? Patunayan na magaling ka? So I was just kind of being silent and then I said, you know, the more na magsalita si Marcelo at si Villa Ignacio, everything that they're going to say will just be taken as political rhetorics, right? I need to lend a face to the report. I need to lend a face where public can associate. Ang sabi po ng asawa ko, how sure are you na paniniwalaan ka? Hides, laban ng media yan. At wala tayong pera, lalo na ngayon nag-resign ka pa. Alam mo Heidi, hindi ka lang makali, isulat mo na lang yan sa libro. And then I said, bakit? Lahat ba ng Pilipino bumabasa ng libro? And so during those struggles, you know, it's always like a struggle, like, you know. And then lumabas po si George Rabusa. Nung nasa TV siya, when George Rabusa appeared in the Congress, di ba naka-wheelchair pa siya? My children are watching the television and my husband was there. And when George cried, my children say something like, Ma, naawa kami sa kanya. Kasi pag ikaw ang umiiyak, hindi naman kami naaawa kasi. Kasi daw ho, nanonood daw ho ako ng horror, pero pag binanggit yung father, umiiyak ako. Sabi ng anak ko, kasi si mama, nanonood kami ng sukob. Aba, biglang namatay yung tatay ni Chris. Bakit ako? Nalalaglag ang luha. Mama, horror ito, hindi drama. And then my husband said, he told my children, anak, your mom is lucky. She is blessed. Many others attempted to tell their truth, but they were simply not given the chance. Pinatay sila bago maipahayag ang katotohanan. At this particular time, I'd like to give honor and praise, and I'd like to pray for the souls of Philip Pestaño. I'd like to pray for us to pray for the soul of Marlene Esperat, and for the many other auditors and many other Filipinos who were killed in the area of fighting corruption and exposing the truth. So ang sabi po ng husband ko, your mother is lucky. She is not only given the chance, she is also given the limelight. O, diba? So, nag-agawan ang mga TV stations. O, diba? Sa pagtawag sa akin. Joke. So, noong January 21, sabi ko kay Ses, go na. Ilabas mo na yung interview. But it was most difficult kasi I tried to protect people who are close to me. The first target is my father-in-law. He is 91. So I said, this man should not be able to see that interview. So I trapped it. I played it around. I called the maid and I said, manood kayo ng Willing-Willy, ha? Do not... Huwag mo ilipat ang channel. Kailangan si Papa nakapokus kay Willing-Willy. First time kong minahal si Willy, di ba? But I never realized, on that particular nag-CR ang maid, itinransfer ang channel. Sakto, si Heidi Mendoza yung nasa screen ng television ng ABS-CBN. And my daughter was texting me, Ma, iyak nang iyak si Kuya. My eldest was really crying as he is watching the interview. So how do I take it? Pag uwi ko, in-embrace ko yung anak ko. Sabi ko, anak, why are you crying? Sabi niya, Ma, given the series of crime, may sinusunog, may ginagahasa, my fear really is, every morning kung gigising ako, ang tanong ko sa sarili ko, buo pa ba ang pamilya ko? Where is my mom and where is my youngest daughter? I was just as fearful as you are. So parang ako ramdam na ramdam ko yon. Kaya nga ang sabi ko nga po, when somebody asked me, or when somebody said, ang tapang-tapang mo naman, is it really courage that drives you to do the things that you are able to do? In Washington, in World Bank, somebody asked me, well, everyone is convinced what drive a people or some government officers to be corrupt. But what we are interested of is, we want to learn from the Philippine story what drives a certain Heidi Mendoza. Ay, hindi naman sila naniniwala sa faith Anong sasabihin ko, di ba? Sabi ko kasi sa kanila, it is not mere courage. You know why? You can be courageous for yourself. Pero hindi mo pwedeng sabihin magiging matapang ka para sa iyong mga anak. At one point, nung talagang matindi yung threat, ang anak kong panganay is something like, Mama, may security ba tayo sa baba? Oh. May security ba tayo sa kanto? Oh, anak. Meron ba tayong pulis sa likod? Sabi ko, anak, stop being praning. And then he faced me, what? Stop being praning? Ikaw ang may kasalanan nito Kung hindi mo ginawa yan, dapat hindi kami natatakot, hindi kami nagtatago. Dapat hindi kami nahihirapan. Ikaw ang may gawa niyan. And this is very, very difficult. In one particular instance, dahil sinasabi ko dun sa kaibigan kong pare, the pressure is so strong, the threats are very real, that I really don't know how to handle it. Ang sabi ng pare, halika, magmisa tayo. Doon sa misa, each of my children, they were asked to share, to pray orally. Hindi ko po makakalimutan yung panalangin ng pangalawa kong anak. Sabi niya, Mom, I hate you. I hate you because yung pinakamaliit na bagay, diniprive mo pa sa amin. We grew up so deprived. Hindi kami pwedeng magkaroon ng laruan kung binebenta mo pa. Ang pwede lang naming laruin ay ang laruan na natira sa iyong mga binibenta. Hindi kami pwedeng magkaroon ng ibang bagay kung wala kaming mataas na grade dahil that is the policy. And yet, ito ba namang makalabas kami at makasama ang aming kaibigan,